Dana, check in. Can you hear me? If you can, please come down here to the stage. Your microphone is off. If you can make your way down to the stage, Dana. Do. Can you hear me now? Oh. Let me just see your microphone here. Microphone check. We'll tip on these here. The further you get away, the further it is, right? So if you kind of hover in here and down that row to that light post, you can kind of cover both sides, and it'll keep you close, keep you nice and clear. If you get all the way back down to that back corner, we'll start to lose you.
All right, there you go.
Loud and clear, girl.
All right.
All right. Mark, let me get a little audio check on you, boss. Coach, yeah, there's Antonio right there. He knows where you're at. No, right there with the bullhorn. Hey, man. Yep.
This may be the only time all four of us are together at one time. yours?
I don't know how that was in there, but it was in there. Wow. Where the hell did that come from? I had no idea those were in there. That's been buried.
It says I owe him money.
Of course you do.
Sandy, will you be at the Thurman Munson Scholarship Dinner on Saturday night? Headset check.
Hello, 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 hello. Padawan Gordon, he run. Ooh, dart right there from Maple Heights.
Shaq.
Shaq Washington.
Shaq Washington.
That was good.
Bum, 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 bum.
You know what's funny is Gretz and I just watched Ted the other day.
Nuh-uh. Did you really?
Frickin' hoovering down lines with frickin' Flash Gordon.
All right, man. I think we're good to rock and roll.
This is impressive.
Okay.
All new stuff. Well done, Stallion.
We are
Well
live.
done.
Put a little blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Ooh, back shoulder fade.
YouTube. Where's our YouTube? I'm going to send that out. YouTube. Stark Media Group.
Stark Media Team.
Stark Media. Why does it say that? Kempthorn Motors Kickoff Classic powered by Stark Media Live. 3 watching. All right, we got to get those numbers up. 6 on. All right, I want to share this. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking, what's that reverb? I could hear it because it's coming through here. I killed him. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, sweet. You tell me whenever you're ready.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Kempthorn Classic, Kickoff Classic, powered up by Stark Media. We are live at the Hall of Fame Village Sports Complex, the beautiful turf fields here on the campus of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, right across from Kent McKinley High School. And this is our debut, so to speak, of the Stark Media. Myself, Sam Berkwin, Jim Ballard to my left, TJ Downing to my right, a little couple of doors down. It's Mark Milano, everybody's favorite Saturday morning fisherman. We've got Dana Rohde out on the field. We got Drew Sirackman running around today. And we are very pleased and happy that you have joined us here today. But we'll take it a step further than that before we get into it here. We're going to be here for a while, okay? The weather is perfect. The humidity's down. There's going to be no rain in the forecast. And we've got lights. So come on over and check this out. It's the Kempthorn Kickoff Classic, powered by Stark Media. We're probably going to be here till 7-ish, 8-ish at least tonight. We've got plenty of great 7-on-7 football today. It's only $10 to get in, and 5 of that goes toward a food voucher. We got some incredible food trucks here. If you're familiar with Fair Food, you know what all that's about. We got your sausage, we got gyros, we got fries, we got drinks, we got everything you need. So come on over. Only $10 to get in. The $5 goes immediately to a food voucher. So in essence, you're only spending $5 to get in, and you get to check out some great 7-on-7 football. And it's happening. Okay, here's who's in the house with us today: Kent McKinley, Malvern, Akron East, Flint Hill, Maple Heights, Euclid, Cleveland Benedictine, Warren Harding, Lake County Perry, and I believe Cincinnati Taft is with us as well. And it's a 7-on-7 tournament. There will be a championship game here in one of the middle fields coming up a little bit later on tonight. Who's who of folks roaming around? Joe Bogdan here with us today. We've got The incredible J.P. Simon from Simon Says Productions is here. Dave Jingo is here doing some great work. I saw former Kent McKinley and Ward Harding coach Tom McDaniels is here taking in some action here today. So we got the TrenchLife Challenge going on behind the fields, and we'll be talking about that a little bit as well. Do want to thank our good friends, of course, at Kempthorn Motors. A shout-out to Eric Kempthorn and the great Kempthorn family. Kent Insurance Agency, Nationwide Mortgage, Nathan's Patio. Hello, Nate. Of course, Kempthorn, Dacre Lash, Spirit of Stark, Simon Says Promotions, Stark Media, and, of course, the Bulldog 100. Guys, welcome in. Let's start to chop this up a little bit. Jim, TJ, and Mark, we'll just go down the road. We'll start with Mark, and we'll come this way. First of all, good to see you, my man. And I don't want to use the corny, are you ready for some football? So I won't do that. But are you ready for a little fun?
You're in midseason form right now. I can tell you that right now. And I've been looking forward to this. This is my first opportunity to see anything like this. I've gone to 7-on-7s before. TJ always quizzes me about the officials. I did get a chance to catch up with the officials here today. Most of these guys are from the Cleveland area. Mm-hmm. And I said, so what is it that you're going to be doing here that you would be doing any differently? And he said, well, we talked to Antonio, and he said to let these guys play. So we're going to see these guys fighting with their hands, trying to get off the line of scrimmage, which I think is something that you need to do. And, boy, I'll tell you what, we're loaded out here with some of these teams that we've got. But it's more importantly, it's great to be here with the three of you.
Wait a second.
This is what it's all about.
He's got a tissue in his hand. You're not going to cry, are you?
Uh-oh.
There's no crying in 7-on-7s.
We ended the Stark County season.
You
we'll call
still
it
maintain
Summit.
that.
We'll call it Summit because the Green Bulldogs are from Summit. But when they lost to Wynton Woods, it was chilly down there. I think the tears were coming from the cold. But I think he's just happy.
Shots fired already. And we haven't even been on the air 5 minutes.
We got the group back, the gang's back together, man.
Dude, leave your feelings at home and check your ego at the door, baby. This is how it's going to be.
That's right.
Setting that tone early.
Hey, wow. You know what, Sam? You mentioned Dave Jingo here with us earlier. Mm-hmm. How about a round of applause for him for that Emmy that he just won, man?
Absolutely.
Kudos to you, my man, and everything that you've done for Marion Motley, getting that done over here. Antonio Hall, RJ Van Almen, oh, that's a good friend of yours, man.
Of mine, yep.
That's a phenomenal project that they've done. Something that's been long overdue.
Yeah, it's been nice to kind of watch that thing, watch the grow from the first shovel of dirt. And we always appreciate the people like RJ and Jings and other people posting videos, posting pictures, keeping us all in the group of okay, we're getting closer. We're breaking ground. We're going to cut the ribbon. We're going to shovel some dirt. We're going to get the concrete. And it's great to watch that. Obviously long overdue, but when it's up and ready to be viewed and looked at and admired, we are absolutely looking forward to that as well. We're going to go out to Dana Rohde, one of our newest members here at the Stark Media. Dana has her orange and black tiger paraphernalia on today. I'm sorry, wrong one.
2 shots fired.
Sorry, 2 shots fired. She's got her Bulldog gear on. Dana, what's up? How are you? What are you seeing out in the fields today? And give us a little flavor, a little sense of what's going on here on this incredible early football Friday in the summer.
The question is, what do you see? Yeah, we just finished up Canton McKinley Bulldogs 28 against the Akron East Dragons 21. Both teams looked amazing, but we got some folks here on the Canton McKinley team that really kind of stood out there. We had 2 touchdowns by Isaac Chengu, one by Trey Foster, our senior lead in this team this year, and Keith Quincy, a sophomore. So 2 by Isaac, 1 by Trey, and 1 by Keith, looking great. They took the lead, and the Akron East Dragons fell a little short by 1 touchdown, but Tristan Thompson, a senior for the East Dragons, and Abrian Kamara and Trayvon Bratton actually scored for the Dragons, but all teams looking good, and that was actually by Ron Jackson Heights from Youngstown and PA.
Very good. Dana, thank you. I will tell you one thing. A lot of folks from around here are a little bit familiar with Akron East and the great job the coach Marcus does with the Dragons. And they have, I'm going to go kind of way back in the day here a little bit and just use Stark County as an example. If we had some teams looking for some games to start the season, mm-hmm. All right, you'd look up Akron and say, hey, let's bring East in. Let's bring in such and such. They don't do that anymore. Akron East can play ball.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
certainly can.
The Akron City Series. It used to be way back in the day, it was just Garfield, okay? Well, now it's Kenmore Garfield, Firestone has kind of struggled over the years.
Buchtel.
Buchtel, all right. The great Tim Flossie, and of course Ricky Powers, who's kind of moved on now. They got a new coach there. Coach Yost was with Ellett for many, many years. Akron East. They come down, they play Jackson every year. It's
They're
always
almost a federal league school.
Right.
Jackson.
They've played Hoover. They've played Jackson. They played McKinley back in the day over at the old Fawcett Stadium when there was natural grass
they
there.
went through 3 or 4 Federal League teams in the first half of the season last year alone. I think
they
they had
sure did.
the Perry Panthers.
Right. I think have they not played Glen Oak once or twice?
Yep.
I think they have. So Coach Hayes does a great job with Akron East, and I'm very glad to see that they're a part of this today. Big Jimmy, college football Hall of Famer. Hoff. Number 13 used to sling it for Mount Union. Of course, got some dabbles in the pro ranks as well. And you've been all over the world. You've been all over the world, indoors, outdoors, you name it. What gets you fired up? I know this is only the first week of July. We just celebrated the 4th of July a couple of days ago. But look at this. We've got 12 teams down here on a Friday in the summer. We've got food trucks. We had pregame music. We've got spectators. We've got people that just love to be around this.
I think let's rewind a little bit. How about let's talk about what a great job the city of Canton did and the Hall of Fame did for the USFL championship game.
Yes.
No horse in the race, 20,000 people coming strong. And why? Because Northeast Ohio just loves their football. And that's what we're talking about here. We got a lot of people out here supporting their teams, 12 teams on a Friday night, getting it going. 7-on-7s are always fun. You're trying to get that timing down with your receivers as the quarterback. And let me throw this one at you. Marcus Hayes has ties to Canton over 20 years ago. You know why?
Do tell.
Marcus Hayes was a player for the Canton Legends, where I was the offensive coordinator. Jay Brophy was the head coach.
That's right.
And the other guy on that team, there's a couple, but one of the receivers that ran around at that high motion was one Nick Sirianni.
That's right.
Look at you dropping dimes all over the place.
Was not Danny Larlam a part of that too?
Danny Larlam and Rob Adamson. Rob quit after the first game. A little disappointing, a little soft. Wow. And then Danny became the quarterback.
Third shot fired.
Soft.
Wow.
Ouch.
And I know Danny
just got hired at St. V.
Got hired at St. V as an assistant
Quarterback
coach there.
yeah.
Quarterback coach was at CVCA, and now he's over with the Irish. So, yeah, well, I used to do PA for those games. I was the PA announcer, and it was incredibly like there was no shortage of action ever. And it was always kind of fun to get in arena football, indoor football, it's usually more fun when your team's on defense because, honestly, there's not that much played, okay? But when you can get whatever we had down at the Civic Center on some nights, 2,000-3,000 people up on their feet, chanting defense, pounding on the it was a hoot. Man. It was a hoot. It was so much fun. It did not last long down here, but it was fun while we had it. And
I loved it, man. It was so fun coaching.
It was a good time.
Bobby Olive ended up coming in coaching. If you remember, Ohio State
That's
wide
right,
receiver.
Former Buckeye. Got to know Bobby real well, and still keep in touch with him. Now he's down. I think he's down in Cincinnati now, or Columbus area.
He's coming back there. Columbus is bringing back an Arena League team in 2022. It is 2022. I think next year in 23. But he's living down in Georgia. I actually played with Bobby in Buffalo with the Buffalo Destroyers in the Arena League. Ray Bentley, former commentator for ESPN, was our head coach.
Wow. So there you go, running the gamut there. Again, thanks to our sponsors, of course, Kempthorn Motors, Canton Insurance Agency, Nationwide Mortgage, Nathan's Patio, Deca Lash, Spirit of Stark, Simon Says Promotions, Stark Media, and, of course, our good friends with the Bulldog 100. We are live at the Hall of Fame Village Sports Complex. We've got 4 fields going, 3 fields going. We've got 3 fields going right now. We've got 12 teams. Come on down and join us. It's only $10 to get in. 5 of that gets cut off right to you to go to the food truck and get yourself a sandwich and a drink or what have you, and just hang out with us here today. Come on up, say hello. We're high atop the Kempthorn stage, and we are having a great time here in Stark County. It is the Kickoff Classic, Kempthorn Motors Kickoff Classic, powered by Stark Media. We're going to be getting you a score update here pretty soon. Just kind of let you know what's going on with all the fields, who's going against who. We got some tradition-rich football programs with us today, the likes of Canton McKinley, Akron East, Cleveland Benedictine, Warren Harding, Maple Heights, and their head coach, Shaq Washington. If you say Shaq Washington, yes, that's the Shaq Washington that led them to a state championship in Division II.
Electric.
At
Was he
Paul Brown
electric
Tiger
back in the
Stadium.
day?
I got to broadcast two of his games, and I thought, wow, this kid. And now here he is, years later, the head coach at his alma mater.
How about the
So
career he had
cool
at
to see.
Cincinnati? I really thought with his senior year, he had over 60 catches. I was talking to Aaron Bubonics, who's the defensive coordinator. If the name Bubonics rings a bell back in the day in 91, 2, and 3 with
Eddie.
myself, that was Aaron's the younger brother of Eddie Bubonics. He's done a great job coaching Maple Heights now for quite a while, and Shaq coming back. But he had a cup of coffee with some teams, wasn't able to catch on, and then he became head coach at, 26 years old, I believe? Young kid,
youngster.
and he's doing a great job.
Youngster. All right, Dana, are you ready to roll? We've got pick up some score updates here on the scoreboard today with our Kempthorn Motors Kickoff Classic. Dana Rohde, what do you got for us down there?
Yeah, so finishing round one there, McKinley 1B against the Malvern Hornets. Malvern Hornets, coached by Matt Chichuro, led with some victory, a 7-3, but McKinley, Jerry Patterson had a great pick 3, and Rodney Smith for the Hornets scored that 7. So looking good out there, and we're moving on to round 2.
We should mention that McKinley's got 2 teams going today. I wanted to make sure we said that at the outset. They have a McKinley A and a McKinley B. So Coach Antonio's got all the guys out here today working hard and getting some action here in this 7-on-7 class. Looks like Cincinnati Taft has just arrived. They're coming through. Also, as I turn to my right in the big boy, former Ohio State Buckeye, Glen Oak Golden Eagle, my partner many years doing the Mount Union games, and now we're back together under a big, massive umbrella. And we got some other exciting news we're going to be dropping on you here a little bit later on here this afternoon into the evening, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But the TrenchLife Challenge is going on in the fields behind us. Now, we can't see what's going on back there, but I think one hell of an idea.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
You know, for a long time, and this really this stemmed from Antonio Hall. Him and I had gotten together years and years ago, and we said, you know, every summer there's always something like this, the 7-on-7s for the skill guys, and we kind of get left out over to the side. Mark, nobody cares about the big guys.
The big sexies. I like you.
Until you have a 6'4", 245-pound defensive end running a 4.6, and he's screaming down number 13's neck, ready to plant you in the backfield. Then you love those big boys up front, right?
I've always loved my linemen, man.
You know,
Got to.
Antonio, when he was out with Mark, your Knights, black and gold, when he was with St. Thomas Aquinas there with Drew Sarakman and Coach Mike Cook, and kudos to what they did over there, man. They really got that thing rolling and with limited numbers. But Antonio reached back out to me. He said, you know what? We had talked about doing the big man stuff. You know, let's get this thing going. And so he put it together over there. We went over to the facility at St. Thomas. We did some stuff the first year, and it kind of fizzled the following year. We just didn't regroup. Antonio had left. He'd come over here taking the athletic director position. Smart move by anybody in Bulldog Nation over here. I mean, to bring back a legend like Antonio. You know, this is a guy that I looked up to. And when you talk about real TrenchLife warriors, this is a guy who was Stark County MVP as an offensive lineman. I looked up to this guy, man, when I was young. I wanted to be like Antonio. And so, you know, we got together. Things kind of settled down. He got a guy like Joe Bogdan, and now they got Mike Schott to take over a little bit of that pressure and a little bit of that stuff off of his plate so they can just focus on being the head football coach here at Camp McKinley. I said, you know what? We got to fire up the TrenchLife Challenge. We got to get something going here for the big guys. And along with JP Simon, who is the defensive line coach over there in Massillon, my business partner, you know, we were able to put this thing together last minute and get a good group of guys out. I think we got about 50 to 60 of the TrenchLife guys in here battling it out right now. So as we kind of kick things off here today and got the 7-on-7 tournament going, we know that that's going to be a little bit longer. We went and took the TrenchLife guys. They're in the weight room right now. And another piece of what they've done over here with the Turk, if you haven't been through the Turk, it is unbelievable. The history, when you go and you see the jerseys that are hanging in there, the footballs that are in there. You know, we talked about Marion Motley and what he's meant, but there's so much more. Jim, before we went on air, you're talking about Killer Mike Doss. He's going into the College Football Hall of Fame with you. Guys like Kenny Peterson. Go back to Garland Rivers. You mentioned him. Jamar Martin, maybe the nastiest fullback I've ever seen outside of Dick Kempthorn, right? So to have that facility in here now, to be able to honor those guys. You know, they talk about that over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, honoring the guys, the legacy, all of that stuff. Doing it here at Camp McKinley inside the Turk. Those guys are in there in a brand new weight room right now, doing a 185-pound bench press rep challenge. Okay, then they're getting on some pull-ups.
Okay.
You know, we're scoring everything. Everybody's getting graded. We have some trophies up here. I believe these were from Engravers.
Engraver's Edge.
Engraver's Edge.
Awesome. Shout out to them.
We are going to we're going to present the winning team of the 7-on-7 with one of those trophies, and the winning TrenchLife Challenge guys, they're going to get that trophy as well. So, you know, they're going to come back out here onto the field. We were a little bit worried this morning when we kind of saw some of the clouds rolling in. They're still there, but the rain's holding off. It's beautiful. Our biggest concern, again, too, as we kind of planned out this entire day going, you know, a few months back, was if it was going to be a smoking hot mid-July afternoon.
We got lucky.
We don't have a whole lot of coverage out here with canopies, you know, so for it to be nice and cool like this, it really turned out perfect. JP Simon along with Coach Matt Leisure, and how funny is it to say that? You got
the two rivals working with each other.
Massillon Tiger working alongside each other. Big play over there for Benedictine.
Yep.
He just got a nice touchdown, but you know, those two guys are running this TrenchLife Challenge. They're going to usher these guys back out here when they get done in the weight room, and they're going to go over there to the first field. That's the field that's closest to the highway. They got some sleds over there. They'll do a little two-man sled action. They're going to do a tug of war. The big rope comes out. We got it sitting down here right in front of the stage, man. It's wrapped in old athletic tape. You know, it's seasoned, Mark. You know, it's got a good flavor to it. You know, you get a good grip on it, right? These guys are going to battle it out at the end. The thought process behind this, and the Massillon Tigers, shout out to them. They've won this thing now 3 out of 5 years. The Pitt Panthers, they have started the Big Man Challenge. And so every year that they have their big camp, all the Division I schools have their camp right in the start of June. The Tigers have gone over there and they've really dominated that thing. And they hand out the sledgehammer, right? They come back with the hammer and do some real damage with that thing. But they're going to go out there. The tug of war is going to be kind of the top 6 finishers, where they're going to really get a place at that point. You know, we're going to have a first place, second place, third place off of that tug of war. But we got an obstacle course. You know, we're going to do a little speed challenge. Got the farmer's walk with the hexagon, pulling up with some weights.
No stone unturned.
No stone unturned. The biggest thing, though, and a lot of coaches will tell you this, even some smaller schools. You know, you mentioned Malvern and Coach Matt Churko. I grew up with Matt Churko down at Lake Mohawk. We were just some young little kids running around out there, spending our summers at the beach, having fun. He's done a phenomenal job with the program down there. Malvern has really turned out some talent, and they're competitive every year. They're in the playoffs every year. We had a chance to go down there and call that game where they played Lucas. Don't even want to talk about that offense that they ran. It was a nightmare. Quarterback's lead blocker, Chip Ballard, trying running that, buddy.
Lucas, he's still shaking his head over that offense.
He is, and I'm still figuring out how to try and call the action on it. You know, 22 hand. Oh, he's doesn't have the ball. He's lead block quarterback. Okay, let's get your quarterback killed here. No, but you know, the Malvern Hornets are up here. You know, a Division 7 team. You got Division 1 teams out there. It's really the full spectrum.
It is.
You know, so everybody's involved. We got a little bit of everything here, man. It's really turned out to be a great day. We got some great guests in the house, like you mentioned, Joe Bogdan. And then right after I see him walk in, you got Kevin Henderson and Steve Kovacs who come walking in behind there.
Legends.
Maybe the 2 coaches that you do not want to piss off. Because that day of practice and even the next day of practice, it's going to be your worst nightmare, man.
Yeah, that's right. They are not afraid to get after you. It's done well for them. And I'll tell you what, we're seeing some incredible play going on out here because we're monitoring 3 fields kind of at once, watching 6 different games. And I'll tell you what, Benedictine has made some great plays. McKinley has made some great plays. Again, we've got, you know, Warren Harding, Lake County, Perry. How about the program they've got up there? Facilities up there, incredible for a smaller school. We mentioned Benedictine, Euclid Panthers, another school that's kind of gone into a new stadium the last 3 years. DiBiase Stadium up in Euclid, one of the better high school football venues I've ever been in my life. It's incredible. Maple Heights, we talked about. Shaq Washington, Flint Hill is here. Akron East, Cleveland Heights, Malvern, and, of course, Canton McKinley. Throughout the broadcast, we're going to be with you for the next several hours. We'll be talking about our area teams and maybe look down some schedules. We will tell you about our broadcast plans coming up for high school football and high school basketball, a very very cool relationship that has been formed. We'll be telling you about that and excited about that as we move forward. But if you're listening, maybe you got us on the YouTube, you got us on Facebook Live. I do want to let you know there is plenty of room for you to come on down and enjoy all the excitement going on here at this Kempthorn Classic, brought to you by Stark Media. It's a 7-on-7 competition. We got great action going on. It's only $10 to get in. There is plenty of room to park. Trust me, I know it looks scary because of all the construction. There's plenty of room for you to park. And you're $10, $5, you get a coupon right back to go use at one of the great food trucks over here. So if you haven't had dinner yet, come on over and check out the John's Authentic Italian Sausage, gyros. We got fries, we got lemonade, we got everything. It's all going on right here at the Hall of Fame Village Sports Complex.
Dude, we're downwind, man. Too.
Oh, I know.
And I know
I already,
Jay,
we
I
allowed
already
to just go over
partook,
there and
man.
get
I already
something or
had my
what?
sausage and lemonade, man. I'm ready to go back for seconds. My boy John over there,
Mark,
little sand wedge,
he's
is
always
doing it
partaking.
right.
Every time you can set your clock to it, man. He's going to come up with either a Chick-fil-A sandwich about 15 minutes before kickoff, a little slice of pizza, maybe a cheeseburger, and we're sitting downwind just getting all that
I'm telling you,
flavor.
it's just wafting right over here.
I think we should have
My
had a
next
relay
question
team.
is, go ahead.
We should have had a relay team for this big man challenge that's over there. I'd go in, I could bench, I can do 185 a bunch of times. I'll do the chin ups. TJ, you guys get in the tug of war contest. You know, I think we could dominate.
How many chin-ups are you good for?
Man, I haven't done a chin up in a long time, but I don't have to move a whole lot of weight. I think I could do pretty well with
40,
that.
50 pack? You put 50 down?
I think I could do 40.
Okay.
40 chin-ups.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
Where are we at?
And I just worked out before I got over here tonight, too. So I wanted to make sure, I was pretty. Hey,
But I'm not going anywhere near
But
that kind of activity.
we do have to give kudos to the guy sitting next to me over here, TJ Downing, for everything he did to get all of this stuff set up. I mean, he is a one-man wrecking crew. TJ, the new
I
equipment.
offered my help, but I was told we're good, so I stayed away.
I drug this thing
I want
on
you
my
to
back.
know.
Right in the bullpen. Right in
you
the
to know.
bullpen. Wouldn't even give him the call
I
up.
want you to know I was ready at 9 this morning to come out and start doing things. But hey,
I drug this stage here, this beautiful stage.
You're the
from,
Picasso of this stage.
Yeah, I drug this thing in here today. Now I got a little bit of help, but shout out to Eric Kempthorn for giving us this. And they've allowed us to use it for tomorrow, so everybody knows there's a lot
tell
more
us what's
exciting
going on
football,
tonight
man.
and tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'll tell you what, we got the 7th annual Sophie Bowl. Now, for those that don't know about it, you can follow along on our Twitter page, our Facebook page. We got some different information out there about it. Go to inyourshoescharity.org. In Your Shoes Charity. It's on Facebook as well. I have been lucky and blessed enough to be brought on by a family who dealt with the loss of one of their children after just a few short days after birth. She passed away from a congenital heart defect. Most people don't know that 1 in 100 births are affected by a congenital heart defect. So shout out to Sophia's mom, Lauren Capo. She's done a phenomenal job. She's made sure that her daughter's life lives on. Her memory is eternal. It's lived on through these events and many others. But, 7 years ago, we started saying it should be the 8th. We had to cancel the one due to COVID. We thought, let's put together a flag football tournament. Mark, you used to do a lot of flag football stuff back in the day. It's different. It's different than football. It's a lot like Arena League stuff, Jim, where you got some different backfield action, a lot of trickery, different things that you have to do. Can't guard the flag. So it's
Allegedly.
yeah, right. Everybody does it, right? Everybody's guarding that flag. A little stiff arm there. For us, we started this project out, the Sophie Bowl, as we wanted to make it a traveling thing, kind of make it feel special, where the first year we were at Central Catholic. The second year we went to Glen Oak High School, and your nephew or cousin, Tony Milano, actually broke his nose in that tournament. He came across the middle. He was not prepared for the contact that was coming for him.
Whoops.
We had, now luckily out of 7 years, that was our worst injury. Last year we had, you get a couple scrapes, a couple bumps and bruises, nothing serious. Never had anybody go down, so we'll knock on something here. We traveled it around. We went up to North Canton, Greentown. Traveled this thing until last year. And we got it over here at the Hall of Fame Village, and we said, there's no way we're going anywhere else. I mean, it's perfectly laid out here for stuff like this, lacrosse tournaments, soccer tournaments, and that's really the aim of the Hall of Fame Village. They want to have these fields packed all the time. You even go down to different band competitions, Mark. You get everybody out here, utilize the fields. We will be out here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Gates will open at 9. The gates will open at 9. The games will start at 10. We've got 14 teams. It's the biggest one that we've had thus far. So many different people have contributed to this thing. Shout out to my boy Joe Corum over at Camp Towing. He got behind it. Marker Man Productions, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and even the Hall of Fame Village. You know, we will be out here for a good 6-7 hours. A lot of competition. Some really, really talented players. We've had a lot of different winners over the years. The returning champ is Amnesia, but Nathan's Patio has been a previous winner. Harmon's Pub has been a previous winner. Lobies has been a previous winner. It's really kind of spread itself out. We've had a lot of good teams. There'll be raffle prizes. You can win tickets to Incarceration, which is down there, I believe, at the Mansfield Reformatory. You get the Metallicas and the Slayers and the Slipknots. Pretty big concert down there. We've got other tickets. $5, $10. You get yourself a ticket, throw it in the bag. You got a chance to win some passes, all-day passes to these music festivals. We'll have food. So many different things going on. But 10 o'clock tomorrow, big flag football tournament. Jim, you were out here last year. I get drug into this thing. I'm a board member for In Your Shoes Charity, but then I go out there and play because you get a little talent out there, right? So
and you can throw that. You can spin it. I've seen you throw it.
Well, here's the problem when you got number 13 in the house. When you got Hoff in the house, I start trying to spin it, and he tells me that I'm not spinning it the right way.
This way.
Come on,
Do it
throw
this
it off
way.
your back foot, man.
A little more reach, a little more drive.
Mechanics.
I gotta catch a pass from 13. I've never done that.
I've never caught one either.
I've
Caught
caught
a couple
passes
from
from
me.
you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We were setting up for a broadcast down at Sandy Valley. We had a
Yep.
little extra time, man. I had Mark out there running some routes, man. I
Huh?
loosened up the cannon a little bit.
Huh?
Hey, are you going to get on stage and sing with the Zach Brown band too?
I might if we get out of here early enough. I don't
Good
know
luck.
how
Good
this
luck with
gonna
that.
go. No, that's another one here. One of our partners
Yeah,
at
go
Stark
ahead.
Media,
Tell
the
us about that.
Wentz Family Foundation. They're getting behind what we're doing here, and they've got the Zach Brown band coming, and they're playing tonight.
They're
and I've
good.
been up there all week long. We shot a nice little time-lapse video for them. We mounted it up on top of the press box at Dowd Field. If anybody's ever been over there before, man, it's an interesting scene. Cut right in the middle of a neighborhood. You got 76 running right alongside of it. They had John Daly out there the other day.
I saw that.
and
Hitting
he
golf
was,
balls
He was
across
hitting
the-
driver.
Across the interstate.
Still got it,
Of
man.
course he is. Of course John Daly's doing that.
It
right?
was classic. So I got a chance. He wasn't out there today, but his bus was out there. Got a
Saw
chance
the
to see all
bus,
the different
yeah.
tour buses. Zach Brown was flying in at 1:30. Really cool production that they've had set up. Sold out. Parking sold out. Tickets are sold out.
Great.
Going to be a great show. Again, hoping that the weather holds off. I believe it will. But, rain or shine, that concert's going on. Zach Brown's gonna take the house down, man. It's gonna be really fun up there for those guys, and that's a nice thing to be able to see such a major act.
Right.
And you almost kind of feel, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm a big country fan, and I think he's kind of crossed
Yes.
some of the
Yes.
pop, rock, top hit type
That's where it's at.
genres.
That's where it's at.
It is, and Tony Eastwood in the house, man. Our guy from Eastwood Films is gonna be out here getting some drone work for us, getting those tight shots on the players out there. But Zach Brown, it's almost like he came out of nowhere. He was like Billy Ray Cyrus. Like he walked off the side of the highway, and all of a sudden he's a global phenomenon. But for him to take time out of his North American tour this summer and say, you know what, I want to get behind somebody like the Wentz Family Foundation that does charities like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that are hurt, that are sick, giving back. And Zach Brown said, you know what? I'm going to be there at Dowd Field on July 8th. We're going to put on the show, bring the house down, make some money, give it back to some different foundations. That's what it's all about, right?
And I got to see some of the video that you put up today, a little behind the scenes, the production. Folks, that's not going to be some 2x4 stage that's an elaborate.
Yeah.
That's a big time concert setup. So it's going to look great. It's going to sound great. And if those of you are fortunate enough to have your tickets and you're ready to go tonight, you are going to have an absolute ball at Dowd Field. So shout out to the Wentz Family Foundation, and of course shout out to the Zach Brown Band and all the folks that helped make that possible, because tonight is going to be one heck of a night up at Dowd Field in Akron. So you got that. You got the Sophie Bowl tomorrow here. You got the Kickoff Classic here. Lee Foster in the house. There is a lot of great stuff going on, and we are just
I'm glad
happy
I
to
got
be
my sunglasses, man. I can't see off that head. It's
The
so
shooter.
cleanly shaven.
Wow.
He's got the release rotation splash.
He does got the your foot's on the line, Gus. Step back one. Try it again.
Sam.
Try it again.
I hated it when people
There
would
you
do
go.
that to me. Foot's on the line.
Your foot's on the line. So again, we are broadcasting live here on Stark Media. And Sam Berkwin, Jimmy Ballard, TJ Downing, Mark Milano, Dana Rhodey is out roving the fields. Drew Sarakman is out roaming the fields. Lee Foster here, Jeff Tyler here. We got the whole group is here today. And if I left anybody out, I apologize. Somebody can give me an elbow shot and we'll get their names out there.
Gang's all here.
But I'll tell you what, we got a great crowd here today. Folks are continuing to come in the doors. We're going to be here for several hours, folks. Come on by, enjoy some 7-on-7 football. We got some great food trucks here. And just to kind of be in the company of football and food and midsummer and just kind of a little appetizer, I guess, for what's going to be coming down the road. Guys, today is what, July 7th?
8th.
Here, I'm already a day behind. Do you believe, does it feel like to you, 30 days from today,
Wow.
it's going to be early August? And you know what that means?
Game week, man.
So, yes, we just had the 4th. We just had the USFL championship game. People are still kind of using their passes at the swim clubs around the county. Football is not that far away. And we got some great plans. We're going to have some great announcements coming throughout the show. But come on down and join us. $10 gets you in the door. $5 you get to go use it over at a couple of the food trucks and just come on out and join us and hang out, say hello. We're up on the Kempthorn stage and just having a great time. Lots to get into. Again, we're going to be with you until it's going to be a while. So settle back and enjoy everything that's going on here. Check us out on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out, like, follow, and share all the activities on the social media platforms with Stark Media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Stark Media on YouTube. It's all going on. So make sure you get in and watch us grow day by day as we get some great things happening.
Hey, you know Lee Foster, he doesn't use water park passes. He's coming fresh out of the 0-degree entry over at Brookside, and that's why he's looking as clean as he is down there, getting a little love from Drew Sarak.
Yep. Oh yeah. straight off the greens and over to the Hall of Fame Village Sports Complex. So again, come on out. We got plenty of time, plenty of room for you. We have so much to get into. And I think what we'll do is maybe we'll take a little pause here. We're going to tell you about a lot of our great sponsors coming up and what they're doing and how they're backing us and getting involved with the community and how you can get to know them and become a part of what they do. Kind of when we come back, I think we're going to start telling people what we are.
Yeah.
Stark Media, who we are, what we're about, what we're going to be doing, and how everybody can get involved, because we've got some really incredible things happening. I know we're all excited to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to that. So,
You know, the other good thing about the TrenchLife Challenge, which a lot of coaches were asking, I was kind of leading in there on Matt Churko, that, you know, when you get a lot of these things, people that have tried to start up some of these big man things, you get guys that get a little bit, if there's too much contact, you're doing a one-on-one pass rush and you don't have shoulder pads on. Guys are just out there in helmets. You know, and guys can take some bumps and bruises. You know, you mentioned, Sam, 30 days out from now, we're going to be close to game week.
unbelievable.
3 weeks from Sunday, man. 2-a-days start.
Yeah.
3
So,
weeks from Monday.
Longer season, 6 weeks of the playoffs now,
That's
so you
right.
start a
That's
week
right.
earlier.
That doesn't
know,
hurt my feelings.
And you can't have guys out there getting banged up. You know, I talked with AJ Sarball from Fairless.
Okay.
He's like, man, if I lose a lineman, he goes, my season's over. You know, so the way we kind of structured this thing was to make sure that it was no contact. It was really strength and endurance. And Matt Churko, as I mentioned, he brought 5 of his guys down that are competing in it. Just really getting after it, man. You know, it's really all of this is about protecting the guys. You want them to be able to compete and do different things, Mark. But the last thing you ever want to see is somebody get banged up, as Jim just mentioned, 3 weeks before training camp.
You know, and how many of these teams don't have their full complement of players here either because
Right.
they're playing baseball.
Playing baseball, they're doing other stuff.
Yeah. You know what? And I'll tell you what, in talking to all these college coaches, they want to see people that are playing multiple sports too. So kudos to these guys. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some great passes and some great catches out here so far today. I'm excited to see this Perry team. You know, that's a team that only had 2 losses last year. They lost to Kirtland. And then
No shame there.
And then West Branch. Those are the 2 losses. They averaged over 30 points a game.
And now they knocked Northwest out of
Yes,
the playoffs.
they're very good.
Well, we remember what the final was.
Was that like 80
close.
to 70 or something? Wasn't it a ridiculously high-scoring game?
I'll
Or
go
maybe
back and look on that.
Maybe
I don't
I'm
think it was
thinking.
that bad.
Maybe I'm thinking of another game involving Perry. That was a high-scoring game, but you know they play some ball up there. You know, up there in Lake County, smaller school.
That was a wet game up there. I remember that too.
Yeah.
Perry's made the playoffs, you know, pretty much every year.
Every year.
They went deep, and they ran into CVCA and Coach Larlam's teams 3 straight years. And 2 years ago, CVCA was finally able to knock
Maybe
them
that
off.
was one of them that was high scoring.
42
one of my
6.
one of my quarterbacks,
42-6
Michael
was the
Bevington, had an outstanding career at CVCA 3-year starter, but he was able to get them finally senior year. But they're tough.
D4.
They throw it well. They're very well coached, athletic. Make you beat them. They don't give you anything.
Yeah, good. That's a good, solid program. All right, we got a little break in the action here as far as the 7-on-7 teams are kind of wrapping up their previous games. They're moving on to different fields to take on a new opponent. The likes of Camp McKinley, Warren Harding, the aforementioned Perry Pirates, Benedictine, Euclid, Maple Heights, Flint Hill, Cincinnati, Taft, Akron East, McKinley, Malvern, Cleveland Heights. Everybody here, come on down and join us. We're going to be here for several hours. Come on down. We got some great food trucks here, some great 7-on-7 football. And stop on over to the Kempthorn stage and say hello. Myself, Jimmy Ballard, Mark Milano, TJ Downing. Uncle Drew is with us now. Drew Sirackman has joined us here at the big table. Drew,
His beard's not gray yet, though.
Hey, you're doing a great job with the Twitter stuff. We're firing stuff out at Stark Media Team on Twitter. Make sure you follow. Make sure you share and like. Also, YouTube and on Facebook. Dana Rohde is with us as well. Got her hat turned around this time, and we've got some great scores we're going to give. So before we get to Drew, let's go down and check in with Dana. Dana, get us up to date with the teams, the scores, and what's going on out there.
All right, out here on Field 1, we had the Euclid Panthers against the McKinley Bulldogs. Final score, McKinley Bulldogs 24, Euclid Panthers 14. Got to tell you what, that Keaton Rohde first pass,
Here we
first
go.
pass to the 40 yards to DJ Lewis. Very first pass, scores. Second score was by Sincere McNeil. He also, first pass, 40-yarder, boom, scored. Third touchdown, Alex Vesquez. And I had a pick 3 by Trayshawn Foster. So Euclid Panthers, they had a great game with Richard Buchanan. He scored both of their touchdowns. And then on field B, McKinley Bulldogs B against the Benedictine Bengals. McKinley 0. Benedictine looked really sharp, 31 points. Scored by Eric Cloud, 2 touchdowns by Jace Ellis, 3 by Nick Iliano, and 2 by Kareen Jennings. So looking good, boys. Keep at it.
Dana.
Very good.
Over under. We'll do our own up here, but we're going to give you over under on how many times we're going to say Keaton Rohde hooking up in the end zone this year.
Hey, I just call it like I see it.
There you go.
You know, just
Good
got to
answer.
call it like I see it.
Mom doesn't want to say it. I'll set it first. 21.
So we're talking 21 TD passes.
21 TDs for the
And that's
junior
over.
quarterback?
That's just the regular season, correct?
I love you guys. See you later.
That's marching towards, we'll say, week 14, week 15. From there, you need a little bit of luck.
All right. All right, Dana. Good job there. Thank you. There she goes. Black hat, McKinley shirt, red shoes. She's ready to roll. Ready to roll. All right. My man, Drew.
What's going on?
How are you, pal?
I'm great. I'm living the dream out here.
What do you think? This is I mean, we have like the bird's eye view here. We're up on the stage, so we get to look out at all over the fields in between all the games going on, all the teams, the participants, an incredible turnout. People have come out here to watch and be a part of this event. Our first, what we hope is an annual event here. This is pretty awesome stuff. I'm glad to have you aboard. And what are you seeing, and what kind of gets you fired up this time of year?
Yeah, you know, I'm just fired up. I think it's the least stressful 7-on-7 I've ever been at now that I'm retired coaching. So that's great. You know, I don't have quarterbacks throwing interceptions out there, but what I've seen so far is, you know, for being early in July, these coaches seem to have a really good grasp of what's going on, and so a great communication with the players. They're organized. You don't see a lot of teams lining up, not lining up right. I saw a couple of really competitive games. Maple Heights looks good. I know they're young, but Coach Shack was out there coaching them hard. I'll tell you what, like you guys were talking earlier, Perry looks really good. Perry Pirates. They had, I think, 2 or 3 interceptions against the young Malvern team. They were sharp on offense. And I'll tell you what, the Pups look good. McKinley was out there. Akron East, just reloads every year, and they beat them by a touchdown down there. They're spreading the ball around. It's not just one guy. It's a team attack, and the competition's been really good out here.
And it looks like it up here. I mean, we've seen some great catches, some great throws. I got to be honest, it's been a minute since I've been to a 7-on-7, to be totally honest with you. So my eyes have been open here a little bit to see how this works, and watching guys get the timing down and how the receivers are breaking off their routes. And this has been a little bit of an eye opener for me, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the competition's always important. You want to see your kids come out and compete. I think that's first and foremost. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think these coaches really want to iron out communication. They want their defense to be able to communicate with each other, get that down. And then you just want to make sure your quarterback's making good decisions too. So as long as all that happens and you come out healthy, I think these coaches will be happy.
Absolutely. And I would tell you what, sitting up here watching this, and I think you guys would all agree, and by all means, go ahead and jump in. This being the first that we've kind of helped put together here, this is going to grow.
Oh, yeah, this is
okay.
Great.
People that are here, either if they're a fan, a coach, a player, a mom or dad, a grandparent, a sponsor, just a football fan, they're going to see this and they're going to say, hey, if you're not involved in this thing, you're going to want to be. I can see this thing growing from 12 to 18 to 24. And remember, when we get all these fields that are finally going to be ready here at the Hall of Fame Village Sports Complex, I can see this thing just being, I mean, I don't want to, get too excited, but I can see this thing going crazy.
No, it's great. I mean, I've been at a lot of these with a lot of different teams, and you're walking a half a mile to your field in between games, and you've got, your game before went into overtime, and you got 5 minutes to get on the next field a half mile away. This is a great setup. Great job by Kempthorn, Stark Media, and everybody else involved. But, yeah, this is great. If I was still coaching the team, I would definitely bring them to this event. It's well organized. Like I said, you just jump from one field to the next. It's great access for the fans.
Yep.
The players are involved. Everything's right on top of each other. This is pretty top notch.
Neighbor, man, you're sitting right next to me. Now we're like 3 doors down from each other.
I know, right?
You sit back on the patio, have a couple refreshments.
Oh, no. Please tell me there's not been an addition to Darlington Avenue.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I know where he is. Now I'm going to know where you are.
Hey, I'm 3 houses down. There's a house for sale in Darlington. I don't know if TJ and I scared him off, but
already
it's a beautiful street.
Vacancy already with you two roaming in the neighborhood.
Just make sure you stay on the right side of the street, though, right?
We're not going to go there. Hey, I got a question for you, though. So, as you talk about growing this thing, put your coach's hat back on. There's 2 different things that I hear from coaches. The first, when it comes to 7-on-7s, are that some don't like this type of style because you can't stop it. It's not as controlled, maybe with 2 or 3 teams. You can say, hey, coach, give me that look again. I want to run this play, or I want to put this formation or package in. But then you switch to something like this, and this is as close to a live look as you're going to get. You're not running it back. You're going to get these guys in a situation where you want to have them at, as you talk about getting your communication right, getting everything dialed in. And for us as players to be able to get more of a live look, it makes us more prepared come training camp time. And that's what you want as a coach, right?
Yeah, I think the best part about this is the questions that come from it. You have you're seeing one defense if you're an offense all camp long, from your own team, and now you're seeing different looks and questions come up. Hey, coach, they lined up in this. What do I do? So you're answering some of those questions before the real games happen. Like I said, in competition's big. It's tough to go against your buddy every single day, especially if you're a smaller team. You're Division 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 team. You necessarily don't have the opportunity for competition every day, and this allows you to come compete. at a high level, and it really ratchets it up for the kids. So yeah, I mean the ability for communication, to have those communications that you don't get to have in practice is really big.
Here's the one thing that I like too, Drew, is you talked about it. You go against the same team every day, same kids. They start figuring out by formations what you're going to run. They start cheating the routes, and as a quarterback, obviously you don't get that kind of timing. You don't get the true look at what you're going to see. So when you do come out here, you're able to see different coverages, play against different teams. Kind of assess where you're at. Athletically. The thing that I like so much about 7-on-7s too is that, especially for young quarterbacks, is it gives you opportunities to see defenses, to see roll coverage, to see man, to see zone, and maybe get some timing down with guys that you haven't had, a lot of reps with. This helps with that. The one drawback, obviously, as a coach, is the linebacker pass drops are out of hand. They're not taking those 2 read steps forward. They're just getting out, 10, 12, 14 yards into coverage. So you just can't get into bad habits of trying to force the ball just because it's a 7-on-7. The quarterbacks, what I tell my guys is, hey, if it's not there, you get to your first, your second, you're taking 2 hitches, and you're running. And be confident about it. It's okay not to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Because they're not, every pass play in the game is not going to be wide open. So you got to be disciplined enough to either throw it away or run and take what the defense gives you.
Yeah, that's huge. And you just hit the nail on the head, is making good decisions. You want to see your quarterbacks make good decisions. And in, practice against your own team, he knows what the defense is going to do a lot of time. So that's a great point. I mean, to see your quarterback out here making the correct decision, a lot of times down here, they like to force things, especially in the red zone, to try to score. But reality, in a game time situation, you may not want them to turn the ball over down there. So you want to see them throw the ball away. So that's important for quarterbacks to learn here in 7-on-7. But it's definitely difficult for quarterbacks. Like you said, you got those linebackers dropping. You've got defenses playing man-to-man with 2 high safeties over top, where, they're only going to see in 2-minute drill or 3rd and long during games. But, it's great for quarterbacks too. And, as long as they all stay healthy, I think coaches, like I said, come out happy.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. You stay healthy. You learn what it's going to kind of be like. And, guys are flying around and you're making plays. You're trying to make some adjustments. But, here we are in July, and, the bright lights will be on here soon. And that's when you want to make sure you got your ducks in a row and ready to rock. Mark Milano is headed out to one of the fields right now. Dana is going to take a little bit of a break. TJ is hooking up some stuff. Don't forget, we would love to. We're going to be talking to Little Malvern football here, by the way, coming up in just a minute. So stay tuned for that. We do want to remind everybody, this is Stark Media. This is the Kempthorn Motors Kickoff Classic, powered by Stark Media, live here at the Hall of Fame Village Sports Complex. Sam Berkwin, Jim Ballard, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano, Dana Rhoda, TJ Downing. The whole crew is here. And we would love for you to come on out and join us. We've got plenty of time. We're going to be out here till at least 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit later than that. We've got food trucks. We've got some cool music that's being played, and we got some 7-on-7. We got some TrenchLife Challenge for the big lineman going on. We got some trophies presentations coming up later, a championship 7-on-7 game. It's all happening, only $10 to get in, and we're going to turn right around and give you a $5 food voucher for the food trucks. So, in essence, $5 for some great fun and food and being around some great football people. You can't do much better than that. Again, we will be with you for the next several hours here. And don't forget, check us out, Stark Media on YouTube, our YouTube page, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're rolling here on a beautiful Friday here in early July. All right. Let's talk some Malvern football. Coach Churko of the Malvern Hornets, first of all, thank you for being a part of this event. How did you get involved, first of all, I guess, and what do you take away from 7-on-7s and what you can do to, get the program rolling again?
Actually, we saw, it was late May there. You guys put it out on Facebook.
Okay.
And it's kind of perfect because we were actually looking for one more 7-on-7. We had 2 scheduled, and so I'd like to have a 3rd one.
Okay.
And so I reached out to TJ, and he said, hey, come on up. And so here we are. And it's a good experience for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
We're a young team this year. We had a very veteran team the last couple of years. A lot of sophomores and juniors, only have 2 seniors. So it's just good experience for these guys because we're going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in July, and that's okay. We're good with them making mistakes, because those are types of things that are going to be corrected as the year goes on, and even day by day here, especially with a young team.
Yeah, I know it's really early, so there's a lot of work to do between now and the time they turn the lights on down at your place for Friday Night Football. But do you have a feel or a sense like what your numbers will be this year, maybe per class total, and how you're going to approach, I guess, camp, which will be here before you know it?
We're going to be in the low 30s. Like I said, that senior class, just with only 2 kids, it really just kind of hurts us. I mean, we're double digits, mostly all the other classes. Sure. And we got a big 8th grade class, so we might be looking at over 40-some players next year. For us, that's pretty good. And that's kind of a goal, I've had here for a while, is try to get over 40. And I think next year, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, is that year. But, really, with, like I said, with our team, we're really just trying to figure out a lot of things. We do have some good young athletes, but we're trying to see what works, and maybe, hey, this is what we should do, or maybe we should be more fixated on this. We're still going to be what we've run, a lot of spreads, some under center stuff.